Yo, what is up, guys? Jamie from Jamie's Detailing. Today we are checking out the Ryobi compact chemical sprayers for detailing. So not only am I going to talk to you guys about how these work in general for detailing and just for your everyday chemical usage needs, but we're also going to be talking about how they work for professional detailers who are looking to use a device like this each and every day for their client details. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, let's actually open this guy up and see what comes in the box when you guys first get it. So these things have some crazy glue on them. But first things first, these come with a rechargeable USB-C battery. These batteries are supposedly supposed to work for up to 6 gallons. The other day I put out a quick little update video and I think I said 20 gallons in it, but it's actually 20 of the bottles that come in here or 6 gallons of chemical. So these are supposed to last for quite some time, and I couldn't imagine using up 6 gallons of chemical throughout an entire detail, even if you guys only had one of these devices. And I think the fact that you guys have a swappable battery is going to be a huge advantage over a lot of other sprayers out there on the market. So continuing on, opening up this package, you guys are also going to get a little USB-C cable. I'm just going to toss that over to the side because I'm probably not ever going to use it. Lastly, in the box, guys, you are going to get your chemical sprayer itself. So this is the chemical sprayer, how it comes out of the box, and you get this nice little 0.5 liter bottle that comes with it. So let's actually take this thing apart and see how it works. So the 0.5 liter bottle that comes on here, this is a really nice heavy duty bottle, and I like the size and the profile of it on the Ryobi sprayer. But the only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that it does not have any markings on the side here besides the 0.5 liter marking. So if you guys want to just directly pour your chemical in here and dilute it with your distilled water, it's going to be a little harder, and you're going to always have to use some kind of measuring cup in order to, dilute out your chemical in this bottle. So that's a little inconvenient. The fact that it doesn't have any other markings on the side of this bottle besides the full mark at 0.5 liters. Otherwise, I really like the bottle and the size of the bottle and the total height of this thing with the stock bottle that comes with it. So now that we have the bottle off of here, the next thing that I want to show you guys is this little quick connect right here. So this is the quick connect that comes on the device. It's a really nice quick connect, but the thread pitch on here is not the standard bottle thread pitch, which I forget exactly what that thread pitch is. But the standard thread pitch that normally comes on all of your guys' dilution bottles, this adapter right here is not it. So this adapter, I think, is about twice the thread pitch of what comes on a standard bottle. So I will tell you guys that this does fit on to most bottles in some capacity. But even on these semi-cheap, Chemical Guys bottles, I get these for like 15 bucks for 3 of them, and they just don't fit all the way on this bottle in particular. So when I tilt this bottle to the side, I'll have a little bit of leakage coming out of the cap itself, or out of this adapter itself, which is inconvenient to say the least. This is what the compact chemical sprayer looks like with a normal bottle on it. You guys can see how tall this guy is starting to get, which is a huge advantage of the stock bottle that comes on here. It's just so much shorter and more compact. So I really wish that they actually had this size bottle, but in just a little bit bigger of a size. So if they had this in more like a 0.75 that was still nice and low profile like this, and if they had the actual markings on it, I would like this bottle a lot better. But luckily, we still can use regular bottles on here, and the IK bottles themselves seem to fit a lot better on the stock adapter that comes with the sprayer unit itself. Speaking of adapters, you guys can go to homedepot.com Ryobi.com, and they sell this adapter right here. This is the Ryobi Power Cleaner Bottle Adapter. I'll leave a link to this in the description down below. This is what I actually recommend you guys to get for your bottles, whether you guys are using IK bottles, some kind of cheap other dilution bottle, whatever bottles you guys are using, these are the actual correct thread pitch for them. So I would highly recommend getting these over the stock adapters that come with your bottle. Now, the downside about the stock adapter that comes with the bottle that comes with the chemical sprayer, this thing is way too short to actually get down into your bottle. So if you guys checked out Josh V's video on these chemical sprayers, he actually did this modification right here, which this is just a 5/16 little hose that I got at my local hardware store. I got about 3 feet of it, and I cut them all to size, and then I just popped it on the existing adapter, and I put the filter on the end of it. So I still have that really nice filter, and I have the longer hose on here so I can actually use it with any of my detailing bottles. So it's really nice that you can adapt this thing, but I will tell you guys that having the thread pitch on here that's not the correct thread pitch for my bottles, I would really just prefer to use the actual bottle adapters, even though you can't put this really nice filter on the bottle adapters. So there's a little bit of a give and take here, guys. Do you want adapters that fit correctly on your bottles, or do you want adapters that you guys can put these really nice filters on the end of them with the longer 5/16 hoses? So you're going to have to pick which ones you guys want to go with, whether you guys want to go with the adapters or you guys want to adapt the ones that came with it. These adapters are only like $5, so I would almost rather go with the adapters rather than adapting these guys. Especially since most of the hoses that you guys are going to pick up, like from your local hardware store, are going to be extremely thick, kind of stiff hoses compared to the ones that normally would come on a spray head. Now, there is one other negative to using these bottle adapters. These bottle adapters, they work super, super nice, but right away, you guys are going to notice one small little thing that may have a lot of you guys not wanting to use the bottle adapters themselves, and that is this right here, guys. You guys are going to notice that these bottle adapters are really just an adapter that's been put on the existing bottle adapters. So you guys can see that added green piece on there. Well, that's great that they put the adapter on there so you can put it on actual bottles, but the downside of this is it makes your bottle it makes the total package an extra, let's say, 1/2 inch taller because of this green adapter right here. So another thing to kind of put into consideration when you guys are buying your adapters, or if you guys want to go with these guys, is the overall height difference. Now, this isn't a massive deal, but this is starting to be quite the long package when it comes to a sprayer for detailing. So you guys probably aren't going to want to use a 32-ounce bottle on these sprayers if you don't have to. But for stuff like rinseless wash and all of that, this is definitely going to help out having a much larger bottle. And I also have a larger bottle on Paint Perfection, which is my all interior cleaner, and I use a ton of this stuff. So my two most used chemicals I'm going to put in the 32-ounce dilution bottles, but I actually think that the IK 360 bottles are actually going to be the ones that you guys are going to want to go with if you guys want to use the Ryobi's with the adapters, or whether you guys are using the stock adapters or the bottle adapters. This is just a much more compact size as compared to these longer 32-ounce bottles. So this is going to be a much better bottle to use. You are missing, 12 ounces or so. This only carries 20 ounces. This guy right here carries 33 ounces, 1 liter. So you are missing about 13 ounces out of this bottle, but I think for the convenience of the size factor, this is going to be a much better option, the 20-ounce bottles versus the 33-ounce or 1 liter bottles. So if you guys are looking to do this, I would definitely consider getting the IK 360 bottles that are only 20 ounces or half a liter. So really quickly, let's see how this guy actually works. So now that I actually have these bottle adapters in, because I just got these yesterday, so I haven't used the adapters on any paid client work yet. I've only used the actual stock adapters or stock quick connects that come with the device, and I put the longer straws on it because I had to order these guys from Home Depot. You can't pick these up in store. You actually have to get them online, and they're about $5 each, but you do get free shipping and all that good stuff. And it only took like 2 days to get to my house, so really wasn't that long or anything. But let's see how this actual bottle adapter works with the 360 bottles, because I think that this is going to be a much, much better option. So first things first, guys, I'm actually going to find how long this guy needs to be. So really quickly, I just cut the end off of this adapter, and I'm also gonna try to match this guy right here. It has a little V cut in it so that it doesn't get like any suction from like the corner of the bottle or something like that. It just helps the liquid flow into there a little better. So I'm gonna try to put those V cuts in there. So here's my bottle adapter, and I did go ahead and cut a little V into there just so we have hopefully easier suction. And just out of pure curiosity, I'm going to see if we can kind of jam this filter onto here, but is definitely way too big of a size to really get onto this hose. So I'm going to try to see if I can jam it on anyways, maybe with a heat gun or something like that. I might have better luck. But yeah, this is just way too big of a filter to fit on the end of the straw. I'm going to put it in like this and just see how it works. But here we go. We got our bottle adapter on. So now we have our bottle adapter on with our cut hose. And let's see how she looks with these shorter bottles. So this is the total package with the 20 ounce IK bottles or the half liter IK bottles. I like this way, way better than the longer ones, but if I'm just using it for a rinseless wash or something like that, and I'm only working on the outside of the car, then I don't really think it's gonna matter as much about the size of your sprayer. But when you're working on the interior of the vehicle, I think having a smaller sprayer is gonna be really beneficial. So these are the two sprayers right here, just so you guys can see the size difference in them. This thing is super nice, guys. It sprays really, really well. The only downsides to this thing that I'm not a huge fan of is one, this adapter, the Quick Connect adapter, they should have just made it so it has the bottle adapter where this black piece is. The other big downside to this device that is really going to be kind of make it or break it for a lot of people is the fact that this guy leaks. So when you guys go to take this thing off, you're gonna get leaks every single time. So here I spray it. Now there's liquid or chemical inside of this pump. Well, there's nothing inside of this pump to kind of cut it off or seal it off or anything like that. So when you lift it off, the liquid stays in the pump. And sometimes it leaks more than others, but every time you disconnect this quick release, it is gonna leak on you guys. Most of the time, this isn't really gonna bother me. And how often am I gonna be switching this thing from bottle to bottle? So that's the other thing that I wanted to mention with you guys. After using this in the real world, realistically, guys, how many of your chemicals do you guys actually need on an electric sprayer? My initial intention was to just buy a whole bunch of these quick releases, put a quick release on almost all of my chemicals that I have in the vehicle, and then I could just quickly swap this guy to the chemical that I want to use at the time. But because this thing leaks the way it does and all of that kind of stuff, I think that would be a little bit inconvenient. And I think ideally it would be best if you guys could buy one of these things for each chemical that you guys want to use it with. So I guess as far as the workflow goes, and I'm still trying it out, I've only had half a week with these things now, but as far as the workflow goes, guys, they work super, super good if you guys plan to keep them on the same bottle at all times. But if you guys are going to be swapping these from bottle to bottle, then you do need to think about the fact that you're going to be leaking all the time whenever you guys are swapping and stuff like that. Now, the other big downside to this sprayer that I found from using it over the past few days is the fact that this has zero adjustability of the spray pattern. Now, on a typical sprayer like this Talco sprayer right here, typically you guys can undo this and you get a ton of adjustability. I'm spraying it literally into the back of my detailing rig. With a typical Talco head that we are most of the time using for detailing, these Talco heads are super nice because they just work the way that you would want a spray head to work. You can tighten this guy all the way and you can get a really, really fine mist, or you can loosen it and get a really straight stream coming out of there. So a ton of adjustability as far as how you guys want your actual spray pattern to be. You guys can get a little bit of a mist, you guys can get a ton of a mist, or a straight stream, anywhere in between. It is super, super nice. However, with the Ryobi sprayers right here, guys, you have almost zero adjustability. So here I have it fully tightened, and this is the 100% mist from this guy. So I hope you guys can see that. It's a nice mist. It's a nice mist. It's not terrible. It's good. It's putting out a good amount of chemical, a good volume of chemical. But check this out. When I'm going to literally turn this like maybe a quarter turn, not even. Maybe an eighth of a turn. And we're already at a straight stream, guys. Now I'm going to tighten it a little bit, and we're getting a tiny bit of a mist. And now it's fully tight already. It's fully tight already. And now we're getting, that's full mist on this guy. So those are the couple of downsides to this thing, is just the overall length of it. The fact that you get some drips every time that you undo this quick connect. Let me do it one more time for you guys. I mean, that's a substantial amount of drippage coming out of here. So maybe if there's a trick to quick connecting this Ryobi, let me know, because it is definitely leaking a fair bit of chemical. There's chemical all down this bottle. So if I was using this with a non-acid cleaner or a heavy APC, a high alkaline APC or something like that, this stuff is going to irritate my hands after using it all day. So the fact that this leaks is definitely a no-go for me. But if I'm using it on the same bottle most of the time, it's obviously not ever going to leak unless I need to take this off and put a new chemical on there. So the overall height of the unit, the spray pattern, and the leaking from the bottle are all some of the negatives that I found over the past couple days. But everything else about these guys has been awesome when it comes to actual real world usage. Now, a huge thing that I thought was going to be a major issue when I have them stored in my detailing rig, or I have them, I'm just picking them up or something like that, was this trigger. This trigger right here is super, super easy to push. Now, you do have to hold it for like a hot second before it actually sprays, maybe like a quarter of a second or something. So you do have like that tiny little bit of a delay when you guys hit the trigger. But overall, guys, this sprays really well, and it puts out a good volume of chemical, which I really like about this guy. So yeah, those are pretty much my first impressions on this sprayer. So I'm going to be using this more and more throughout the season and seeing how it goes on actual client details. But so far, I've used it on 2 vehicles this week, and it really helped out, and it saves your finger from doing all the trigger pulling all day, which is a huge benefit. I'm still going to be keeping 2 of these in my vehicle, so I have that sprayer ability, and they're just nice to have because they're more manual, I guess you could say. All I need to do is I can manually pump this guy up. If it runs, it has no battery to run out of, anything like that. So these definitely are still really, really nice to have. Now, another sprayer that I wanted to mention are the solo sprayers. I think the solo sprayer is a little nicer in the fact that it is way lower profile. It's just a little guy sitting there on the top of your bottle. So that is a really nice selling point to the solos themselves. And again, guys, I haven't used the solos personally, but I've heard that this battery life on the solos is absolutely ridiculous. Like, some people have literally never charged their solo sprayers, and they're still going day after day. These guys right here, I'm kind of guessing that the battery life will be not as good as the solos, but the fact that they're rechargeable with USB-C and they charge super, super fast. I have charged these guys just getting them out of the box, and they charged really, really quick. Now, the solo sprayers are super, super nice, but I think one reason that a lot of detailers are liking these ones, or liking the idea of these Ryobi sprayers, is because that they have this quick release right here on them, guys. And the fact that they have that quick release on them and you can swap them from chemical to chemical is going to be really, really valuable for a lot of people. You're not going to have to buy like 2, 3, 4 of these things. You could technically just buy one of these guys and use it for all your different chemicals that you guys are using. And you can just get, you know, your adapters so that you guys can have your other bottles ready to go. So I think that's a huge selling point to this Ryobi, is the fact that you could have like your APC, you could have your rinseless wash, you could have a stain remover or something like that. All your high use chemicals, you could put an adapter on them and just use them with one single sprayer for $50, which is super, super nice over buying multiples of the solo sprayers or having to untwist the solo sprayer and use the solo sprayer every single time. I think that is about all that I have for you guys on these Ryobi sprayers. They're super, super nice sprayers. I really like the actual volume of spray that they put out. They spray pretty far as well. So I really like the actual spray function of them. There are a few little gripes that I wish that they did a little bit better, like the adjustability of the spray pattern. I wish it had a little bit more adjustability for when you're using different chemicals. Some chemicals you might like a really, really fine mist to. Other chemicals you want a little less of a mist. So this one is really, there's no in between on that mist. This is something that I am trying out for now. So if you guys are wanting to try it out with me, I will leave links to all of this stuff in the description down below. I can definitely say go ahead and get yourselves some IK360 bottles. I love the size of these bottles, even if you just wanted to use them for trigger sprayers. And if you guys just want to use these Ryobi sprayers on 1 or 2 chemicals, I think that they would be absolutely perfect. I'm still kind of playing around with the idea of putting these bottle adapters on a bunch of my different chemicals and swapping out the trigger sprayer itself with the bottles that I want to use at the time. So today was just my initial impressions on using this guy for just a few days in the real world, but I am definitely going to give these guys way more time and really use them to death over the next few weeks, and then I'm going to check in with you guys and let you guys know how these actually work for professional detailing each and every day. So if you guys want to try these out with me, I am going to leave a link in the description down below. These are not affiliate links for the Ryobi sprayer or any of the Home Depot links. So make sure you guys pick this up at Home Depot. They have some of them on Amazon, but they're way overpriced, and the adapters are like $30 on Amazon. So don't buy them there. Go ahead and buy them over at Home Depot. The adapters you have to order online. They don't have them in stores. These are the Ryobi sprayers. This is my initial impressions on them. Let me know if this is something that you guys have been interested in checking out. But that is pretty much all that I had for today's video. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. This is working super good so far. putting out a ton of product. Has a pretty good sprayer on it, but it could be a little bit more adjustable.